If you're looking for a way to pay it forward, why not volunteer in your community in a criminal justice department? Police and sheriff's departments often need help. They might even offer you a position in data entry, or victim assistance, or as a criminal justice officer aide. To talk more about the many opportunities is Dr. John Paitakes. He is a criminal justice expert and professor at Seton Hall University and a friend to Ebru today. Thanks for joining us here. Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Well, let's first start off with some of the different volunteer positions that are available. And I got to tell you, I've taken a course once at a sheriff's department, but I never knew there were so many volunteer opportunities.
Yeah, there are. There's three major components in criminal justice: law enforcement, courts, corrections, and they can all utilize volunteers. In law enforcement, they may be doing some administrative duties, answering phone calls, data entry, monitoring some interviews, etc. But you can also sit on an advisory board to hear minor complaints against juveniles, all right, and recommend to the judge what might happen. So you'll have direct input into perhaps the crime problem in your own town. Neighborhood watches. The police will help you set up a neighborhood watch, which is volunteer people in the neighborhood to give additional eyes and ears to law enforcement. You know, especially with the cutbacks now financially in a lot of departments, we don't want the crime rate to increase. So, you know, more citizens have to come forward and volunteer to help.
I was just going to say, with all of those cutbacks, is there more of a need right now?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, and again, I mean, you know, we don't want the crime rate to increase, and so we want perhaps the desk officer to be out in the field, and we can have volunteers monitoring, you know, some of those administrative costs. You know.
Let's talk about some of these different positions that might be available as well. You said you can monitor some of the juveniles, but there's other things, like even like being a crossing guard.
Yeah, that requires some additional special training, but there's a volunteers in probation program where you volunteer for 6 months or a year to mentor, let's say, a juvenile who had some minor problems or whatever. So you're acting as a big brother, big sister, okay?
So it really is paying it forward.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not just like helping out in a office or something like that. You're really out there with the people.
Yeah, yeah. They'll give you one case. They're not going to give you the most serious cases. You'll have to go through some training and pass some, you know, examinations. But once you're certified as that volunteer, you are given quite a bit of responsibility.
So what are some of the general requirements? I know there's training, but is there an age requirement? Education, anything like that? Yeah,
normally we want people age 18 and over, of good moral character and good integrity. They'll have to pass a background check, hopefully no criminal record, and commit to at least 6 months to a year. All right, we don't want people coming in and out because we want some consistency.
Sure, all that training also.
And so once they get through that, and usually a psychological examination if you're going to be dealing with offenders. Okay.
What about college students? Is there any opportunity for young people to take advantage of the system like this?
Oh yeah, there's a great opportunity for college students. I'm the criminal justice coordinator for interns for criminal justice students at Seton Hall. And instead of sitting in a classroom for the 15 weeks, their whole contact is working in an agency for the 15 weeks under the supervision of somebody in that agency. So it's a great opportunity to get your 3 credits, but also insight into a criminal justice position, you know. And it's a great resume builder, too, when you graduate.
I was just going to say, that's going to be great on your resume to do. Well, let's talk about some of the places that you can contact, and who do you contact for something like this?
Yeah, well, most county courts will have a volunteer coordinator, all right? So that person will be able to match up your skills with perhaps some kind of volunteer position, all right? You can also go to some websites like directgov.com, the Council on Crime and Justice, and that'll list a whole host of different agencies that you could volunteer for. Or you can go directly to the agency, like if you live in an area where there's an FBI office, you go and, you know, ask to be a volunteer. Most agencies will not turn down a volunteer. I mean, there's usually no pay for those positions. The experience and the insight is what you get out of it.
But the young kids do get the credits.
Oh yeah, they'll get 3 credits. Yeah, now again, they have to write, you know, a term paper on their experience. They have to keep a daily log, and then the supervisor on site evaluates them. So that comprises their grade.
Okay, we have one quick last question. All the volunteers I ever interview always say they get more out of it. What do you see the folks that are involved in volunteer opportunities in the criminal justice departments, what do they get out of this?
The students?
Well, the students or adults?
Or the adults, yeah. There's sort of a sense of making a difference in the system, you know. You know, people have some misconceptions about the system, that the courts are too soft, that police are on the take, etc. Most of those are myths, and very small percentage of that. So they'll get a better understanding of the system and be able to make a more objective evaluation of it.
Well, thank you so much. I never knew any of this, and certainly a great opportunity. We thank you for your insights on this.
Thank you.